Hello and welcome to South First. I am Anusha Ravi Sood and this is State of Play. Before starting off on today's episode, there are a few clippings that I would like you to watch.
దేశ ప్రగతి కోసం దేశ రక్షణ కోసం అవినీతి రహిత భారతాన్ని నిర్మించలే సంకల్పంతో ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిన వేలాది ప్రజలందరికీ నా నమస్కారాలు.
When Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Telangana or Andhra Pradesh and begins his public rallies, his public speeches in Telugu with a heavy Hindi accent, nobody from the Telugu speaking states ever said, "Identi Pradhana Mantri gari Telugu inta balahinanga undi." If anything, the crowds, the applause, the cheer has only increased. Take, for example, Union Minister Smriti Irani and her struggle with Kannada when she comes to Karnataka and delivers a speech.
ಘಾಟಿ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯಂ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯ ಈ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುವುದು ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಂದಿ ಬೇಟದ ಭೋಗ ನಂದೀಶ್ವರ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ತಾಯಿ ಕೋಲಾರಮ್ಮ, ಸಿದ್ಧಗಂಗಾ ಮಠನ ಶ್ರೀ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಅವರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಇರಲಿ ಎಂದು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
Nobody in Karnataka ever said, "Yen ishtu ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ."
ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನ್ ಎಂಬ ಹೆಸರಿನವಳಾದ ನಾನು ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭೆಯ ಸದಸ್ಯಳಾಗಿ ಚುನಾಯಿತ ಆದವಳಾಗಿ ಕಾನೂನು ಮೂಲಕ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿತವಾದ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಸತ್ಯ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂದು ಭಾರತದ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತ್ವವನ್ನು ಹಾಗೂ ಅಖಂಡತೆಯನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿ ಹಿಡಿಯುತ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂದು ಮತ್ತು ನಾನು ಈಗ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳಲಿರುವ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯವನ್ನು ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ ಎಂದು ದೇವರ ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇನೆ.
For that matter, when Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman was first elected from Karnataka to the Rajya Sabha, she took her oath in Kannada and all she got was warm appreciation. It's a different matter though that the second time she was re-elected from Karnataka, she took her oath in English. The point is, whenever these leaders have attempted to speak in a language alien to them, all they have received is perhaps encouragement, appreciation, and louder cheers. Now compare this to what happened to a Telugu-speaking elected member of parliament, Revanth Reddy, who's also the president of Telangana Congress, when he attempted to speak in Hindi, a language alien to him, in the parliament earlier this week.
माननीय सदस्य जो तेलंगाना से आते हैं उनके हिंदी कमजोर बोल रहे हैं, मेरा हिंदी भी कमजोर है, फिर भी कमजोर हिंदी को कमजोर हिंदी में जवाब दे रही हूँ सर.
फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर जी ने मेरा लैंग्वेज के बारे में कुछ कमेंट किए, ये ठीक नहीं है क्योंकि मैं शूद्र हूँ, मेरे को स्वच्छ हिंदी नहीं आता होगा. वो ब्राह्मणवादी होगा, उनके लिए लैंग्वेज अच्छा होगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
Not only was Revanth Reddy taunted for his apparent kamzor Hindi, the leader found no support from the Speaker of the House. Speaker Om Birla was very quick to take offense to Revanth Reddy deeming himself a Shudra, citing perhaps that was the reason that his Hindi was not as good as a Brahmin Nirmala Sitharaman's was. While the Speaker took offense to caste references, not a single word of comfort was extended to Revanth Reddy, who was being taunted for his Hindi. What happened to Revanth Reddy in the parliament earlier this week is just an example of what most non-Hindi speakers in India go through. Before I proceed with the show, a quick reminder. Hindi is not the national language of India. Hindi is not the national language of India. This is a basic fact, a simple fact, but it has been buried under years and years of misinformation fed to Indians right from their school days that Hindi hamari rashtra bhasha hai. It isn't. Hindi is just among one of the 22 languages in the 8th schedule of the Constitution. India has no national language. The Indian Constitution under the 8th schedule recognizes 22 languages and Hindi is one among them. Yet, non-Hindi speakers in India often are not given a level playing field. They are taunted, mocked when they attempt to speak a language that is alien to them, and this reeks of Hindi hegemony. Let me elaborate. Article 343 of the Indian Constitution deems Hindi, alongside English, as the official language of India. Article 351, more problematically, mandates the government to promote the use of Hindi. Every year, crores of rupees are spent doing exactly that, promoting Hindi. Between fiscal year 2014-2015 to 2020-2021, the union government spent 408 crore rupees on the Department of Official Language, which exclusively promotes Hindi. Between 2017 and 2020, however, the union government spent just 29 crores on 5 other Indian languages. The 5 other languages, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, and Odia, 4 of them are South Indian languages. The money to do this comes from our taxes, large portions of it from non-Hindi speaking states. You often hear the leaders of the BJP speak of Hindi as a link language across the country. The Congress leaders haven't done anything different when they were in power either. And this when Hindi is actually an alien language to more than 56% of the country's population. More than 56% of Indians do not recognize Hindi as a mother tongue or as a first language. Even among those who are deemed as Hindi speakers, nearly half of them speak other variants of Hindi like Rajasthani, Chhattisgarhi, Magadhi, etc. According to 2011 census, only 13 out of 35 states and union territories in India had chosen Hindi as their primary language of communication. Yet, Article 120 of the Constitution mandates that business in Parliament be conducted either in Hindi or in English. Now, you may ask, why should an MP from a non-Hindi speaking state even want to speak in Hindi in the Parliament? Well, if one were to go by the rules of the House or handbook of the Lok Sabha, any member who cannot speak in Hindi or in English in the Parliament has to give prior notice to the Speaker's office on what language they would like to speak in. Now, if it is a regular parliamentary debate, then the notice period is about half an hour. But during question hour, if a member wants to speak, they have to give a notice a day before. A Hindi or English speaking MP doesn't have to jump through so many hoops to get their question across in the parliament. This is an example of Hindi hegemony, telling the people of this country either learn Hindi or be left out. This isn't limited just to the parliament. Across the country, at various stages, at various levels, and various fields, Hindi speakers are accorded undue advantage over non-Hindi speakers, whether it is during centrally conducted examinations, deployment to central postings, promotions within central services. Because exams are scored in favor of Hindi-speaking population of the country. For the urban population that can get away with English as an alternative to Hindi, it may not seem like a big deal. But for crores of aspirants from rural India, for whom English and Hindi both are alien, this hegemony denies an equal opportunity. It is a structural problem that denies a level playing field for everybody. This is the core reason for opposition against Hindi imposition across the country in non-Hindi speaking states. And the condescension coming from Hindi speakers towards non-Hindi speakers is not assuaging anybody. Linguistic rights activists have been demanding constitutional amendments to Articles 343 to 351, which accords special status to a regional language like Hindi over other regional languages in India. Well, that may be a debate for another day. Every time an instance of a non-Hindi speaker being mocked or taunted for attempting to speak in Hindi, the situation only gets worse. Perhaps refraining from mocking non-Hindi speakers and attempting to actually create a level playing field would be ideal. Like a Twitter user, Mr. Satish, pointed out on my timeline, it may be best for the government to discuss weak rupee instead of weak Hindi. While signing off, a reminder to my Hindi-speaking friends. Anytime a non-Hindi speaker is attempting to speak to you in Hindi, however kamzor our Hindi may be, it is either out of compulsion or courtesy. a thanks will go a long way. Thank you so much for watching this episode of State of Play with me, Anusha Ravi Sood. Do stay tuned to South First.